All right, I apologize. I thought I had OBS set up completely to work with this live stream tonight around Destiny 2 Reborn, the first saga. And you know what? Despite OBS, despite YouTube being annoying, despite all of that, we're still going to do it. We're still going to talk about it. I'm still going to go over all of the huge things that the assistant director of Destiny 2, Joe Blackburn, had to say just a few days ago regarding the current state of Destiny 2 and where it's going to be in the future. So what I'd like to do, I see that there's a few people joining. And if you guys are late, I want to let you know that I had some issues with OBS. I had some issues with YouTube. I do apologize. I did a bunch of test streams, and all of them worked perfectly. But of course, when I go live to do what I'd like to do regarding this Destiny content, of course, it does not work. So we're just going to go live with no graphics, no anything. And that's how we're going to do it here at Zach the Ripper Comics. I appreciate you tuning in. Please say hello in the chat. As you guys know, any super chats, any super stickers, all of that is greatly appreciated. And you can find my content here on YouTube. I cover professional wrestling, comic books, and video games. And an extension of that, video game movies, comic book movies, and things like that. I do have an eBay channel, or an eBay store, I apologize, where I sell comic books and sell video games. You can check that out at ebay.com/ZachTheRipperComics. We do have a Patreon at patreon.com/ZachTheRipperComics. And you can find me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So what I'd like to do is to do a broad overview right now of what we're going to be covering. And Destiny has undergone many shapes and forms since its inception, back before the alpha of Destiny 1 in 2014. And Luke Smith had been the main director on Destiny 2 for a few years now and really steered the course. He had developed the Vault of Glass in Destiny 1, that raid, and really has been steering the course. A lot of people will say a lot of negative things about him. But when it comes down to it, Luke Smith has done for Destiny what many people wanted from Destiny 1, and he's turned it more into an MMO. Now, with that, he's done things that people do not like, such as sunsetting, such as the Destiny content vault, where they take things away. And they told us that in order for the large Beyond Light to come, that they had to remove a couple planets. And obviously, as you've seen, if you play Destiny, they did not replace the content with the same amount that they took away. Now, news has broken that Destiny 2, and you can find a video that I posted here just last week on Zach the Ripper Comics, that Destiny 2 is now headed in the direction of a multimedia venture. What this means is that there's potential for movies, television shows, things like that, animated series of Destiny. Luke Smith has been promoted to overseer of Destiny as a whole. So the entire franchise, the entire IP is now in charge of Luke Smith. And what this does is that leaves his actual game director position open. And Joe Blackburn has stepped up and come through as assistant game director. And many believe, including yours truly, that he's going to be the next in line, that he's going to take Luke Smith's spot as the director of Destiny. He did his version of Luke Smith's director's cut and basically spewed out a ton of information regarding the current state of Destiny and the future content. So, going into it, first off, a little background on Joe Blackburn is that when Destiny launched in 2014, he was not an employee yet of Bungie. He played the game like many of us and was eventually hired onto the team. Now, this is quoting also regarding the Witch Queen Lightfall and beyond. Last summer, we outlined our ambition for the next era in Destiny 2 by announcing the full arc starting with Beyond Light, followed by the Witch Queen, which was slated for 2021, and Lightfall. As we began to scale production on the Witch Queen last year, we made the difficult but important decision to move its release to early 2022. So this is the first part of the huge news, is that the Witch Queen expansion is being moved to early 2022 from the fall of 2021. Now, since the inception of Destiny, we've seen all of the big expansions launch in the fall. That was an edict of Activision to compete with all of the other titles that come out around there. Now that Bungie is independent on their own, they can change and do whatever they'd like. And this is one of the changes that they're doing. And I fully support this, as there's so many games that come out during the holiday season that we do not need Destiny expansions in September. When it comes to January, February, and early March, there's always a drought, just like the summertime. So now this gives us something to look forward to in the late winter, early spring months, if I can remember my seasons. We also realized we needed an additional unannounced chapter after Lightfall to fully complete our first saga of Destiny. Now, what this tells us is that there's also going to be a fourth expansion. Does this mean that the expansion is going to be coming in 2024? Can Destiny on its current model and its current form last until 2024? One has to assume. The other thing is that he made a point to say our first saga of Destiny. So as you saw with the title of this video, I'm calling this Destiny 2 Reborn. I feel like they're reigniting the flame under the ass of Bungie employees to get back where we were. Is this hopeful thinking? Absolutely. However, with the fact that he says first saga of Destiny, that tells me that Destiny as a franchise is going to continue past Destiny 2, which all of us wanted. All of the content that we're currently getting was originally slated for Destiny 3. But when they broke away from Activision, they did not have the resources. They did not have the subsidiary companies that they had working on the game before anymore. So they've since released everything in drips and drip-fed content that would have originally been Destiny 3. We've long thought about moving Destiny's annual release to the early half of the year, primarily for the health of the team, but the Witch Queen and not being tied to legacy expectations, meaning not being tied to Activision's demands, allowed us to make this choice early for three important reasons. The Witch Queen represents an important evolution in the ongoing story of Destiny 2. Beyond Light built the foundation and allowed us to weave the world building of Destiny and Destiny 2 together. But the Witch Queen will light the fire on a strongly interconnected narrative across Lightfall and beyond. Anything like we've ever attempted before, with these characters, arcs, heroes, and villains that persist over multiple future releases. Even more importantly, the conclusion of these releases will also conclude the Light and Darkness saga. So the entire time we've been playing Destiny, it's been light versus dark. Now we're enveloping the darkness. As of Beyond Light, we've now been able to use Stasis as a guardian in the game, which gives us darkness subclasses. We know that there's more coming. Luke Smith had spilled the beans. There will be upwards of 2 to 3 more darkness subclasses coming over the next 3 expansions, which we now know is 4 expansions. We wanted to make sure that we gave ourselves enough time to build out this journey in the right way, starting with an exceptional first chapter in The Witch Queen. With Destiny now committed to being an everlasting, evolving world, we want to make sure that we still take the time to upgrade the systemic foundation of Destiny 2 to support everything we want to do in the future. Our ultimate vision for Destiny 2 still stands a definitive action MMO, a unified global community where you can play Destiny anywhere with your friends. For 2021, this means upgrading our approach to keeping Destiny's weapon and armor game fresh, refining our vision for PvP, which we'll get into later. I know that's a hot topic, implementing transmog and adding crossplay. Finally, and the most important reason, we are proud to be uncompromising when it comes to our commitment to the health of our teams. With COVID-19 keeping us away from the office and a large amount of work on our plates, we needed to move the date in order to make sure that both this year's updates and The Witch Queen were both delivered at the quality we strive for and on a schedule that makes sense for everyone involved. Now, they gave us Beyond Light and the season since while working at home. It was new to them at the time. We gave them the benefit of a doubt and let them drip feed that content that never actually came. Now that they're still in this, now that we're a year into the COVID-19 world, they don't have any excuses now. I feel like a lot of video game studios have used this as an excuse, like Cyberpunk, and now they're telling us that by moving all of this stuff, we will not have any issues in getting our expansions. And of course, I'm getting a ton of text messages while trying to go live. Making this choice is not one we took lightly. Believe me, as someone close to the Witch Queen's progress, there's no one more that wants to get it out as soon as it's ready. But at the end of the day, we know we're making this call for the Witch Queen and future chapters in Destiny 2 for all of the right reasons, ones that put our team first and our game at the quality bar we strive for ourselves. We'll have more on the Witch Queen later. With Season 11, we introduced Infusion Caps, an iteration on Infusion designed to keep Destiny's gear game fresh from release to release and create a healthy ecosystem for our aspirational content. Aspirational content is endgame and repeatable activities in which you can get high-level rewards, pinnacle rewards, and so forth. While we still believe in these goals, it's clear our execution was off the mark. Infusion Caps helped us meaningfully shift the meta and beyond light and create a rewards ecosystem that was manageable to balance and monitor. But the system has also made our rewards feel like they have an expiration date and have frequently made our legacy content feel shallow. We want the rewards you've earned in Beyond Light and its subsequent seasons to feel like valuable tools you can use in the incredible challenges you'll face in the Witch Queen. So they're making a change. We've made the decision that any weapon or armor that can currently be infused to max power will continue to be able to reach max power permanently. Starting in Season 14, we won't be capping the infusion on any weapons or armor that have not already reached the cap of the start of Season 13. This means you'll be able to take your trusty, your fallen guillotine, and the high stat armor you've earned this year and take it on the raid in Witch Queen. While we strongly believe that Destiny needs a method to shift our meta in the game's most challenging activities, we don't believe that infusion caps are the right answer. Now, infusion caps were a direct initiative from Luke Smith, and now you have Joe Blackburn completely going against that and pulling that out of the game, which is a good idea. We're taking this time this year to research, and validate the plan that creates a fresh and bounceable ecosystem for our most aspirational content. One that doesn't make our rewards feel like they have an expiration. We've learned a lot this year and don't want to rush finding the best plan. So don't expect to hear anything more about this until after the Witch Queen. Now, he's kind of putting this out there and then pulling back completely and saying, please don't ask us about it. We'll see how that goes. Let's talk about power in Destiny. Last year, we started a paradigm where we raised the overall power cap by 50 each season, the level cap 50. While this helped ensure that infusion cap shifted the meta, it also made each season feel like a significant reset to the power you had accumulated. So you'd start the season and be unable to do any of the content before building your power up after having done that an entire season already. The worst of this, in my opinion, was the Black Armory, where you could not touch any of the Black Armory content until you grinded for at least like 6 to 8 hours after it launched, which was completely against the point of an expansion. You do your grinding in the 3-month season, and then you're powered up and ready to go for the start of the next season. To combat this, we will be experimenting with a new power level cap. Starting in Season 14, we will be only raising the power cap by 10 for each non-expansion season. This means if you reach the maximum power in Season 13, when next season rolls around, you will be directly in the 10-point pinnacle band of the power pursuit. This power increase should feel similar to anyone who played Season of the Dawn last year, and we're excited to see how this progression feels alongside our new systems. We believe this change will make it even easier to pick up Destiny each season while still allowing us to have a deep RPG power pursuit when we launch Witch Queen. As you can see, everything they're doing is funneling into the Witch Queen. So they're treating the Witch Queen like the Taken King was in Destiny 1 as a complete reset as far as the combat system, the power system, the weapon system, and everything else within the game. They're treating it like a complete reset, and they're also selling people on the fact, hey, when Witch Queen, when Witch Queen, when Witch Queen. So they're putting it out there, getting us all hyped for Witch Queen a year from now. So as far as PvP, I should say, they didn't go in-depth. He didn't go in-depth on it, and it's a huge problem right now. As you know, Trials has been taken back out of the game. Who knows when that's going to get fixed. Iron Banner has not been updated in a few years now. This is unacceptable. I myself am not a huge PvP person. However, when I play with friends in something like the Iron Banner, I have fun if I'm just going in there and having fun and playing Destiny and shooting people. Now, if you're competitive, if that's what you want to do, then I feel for you right now, because competitive basically doesn't exist in Destiny 2. They're clearly going to be working on it, but didn't really go into anything except the fact that they're working on more stasis combating within PvP, as it's very overpowered right now. In Season 14, the Vault of Glass will return. If you have not played the Vault of Glass, this was the first raid in the original Destiny game. This popped everybody's cherry, including my own. That's what she said. Vault of Glass was one of the best raids, my favorite personal raid that we've ever had in Destiny and Destiny 2. The team will have a lot more to say about it before launch, of course, but there are a few things that Joe Blackburn would like to classify now. Our philosophy behind bringing things out of the Destiny content vault is to keep them feeling like the content you remember, while updating them to meet the Destiny 2 difficulty and raid standards. So while the high-level experience remains the same, you should expect the raid team to have a few tricks up their sleeves when you tackle the depths of Venus this summer. Now, right now, Venus isn't even a planet within Destiny 2. So does this mean that they're going to incorporate Venus, or are we just going to launch from somewhere and fly to Venus for the raid? Vault of Glass will also launch with both a contest mode in the first 24 hours and a world first race. This is a reprised raid. We're going to do world's first a bit different. Players looking to claim the belt will not only have to complete the raid, but also a curated list of challenging triumphs. While only one fire team will walk away with the belt, there will be plenty of opportunities for players to earn the ability to purchase some sweet real-world loot through Bungie rewards. Now, I'm all for them bringing this back. The only thing is the fact they're adding a curated list of triumphs that will need to be completed. Will we get the list of this in advance? So when you're doing the raid for the first time, you know what you need to do to achieve these triumphs? Or is this something where you have to complete the raid to open up the triumph book and then go back in and run another one? Before the end of the year, we are also looking to add a master version of Vault of Glass. Now, this sounds like hard mode, which the raids have not had in Destiny 2, and everybody has been clamoring for. We've been really excited about how Master and Grandmaster difficulty have altered Nightfall strikes, increasing the potency of combat and the importance of executing mechanics. We'd like all of our future raid and dungeon content to offer master difficulty versions where players can earn adept raid and dungeon gear. And while we aren't able to commit to a Season 14 timeframe for Master Vault of Glass, we do want to take the time to develop a sustainable structure that allows us to ship these closer together in future releases. So it sounds like we're going to get Vault of Glass in Season 14, but the hard mode, the master mode, won't be there initially. Season 14, Ada-1 is returning to the tower. And this is something that people have been wanting for a long time. With Ada-1 returning to the tower comes the ability for players to take any armor they have in their collections and turn it into a universal ornament. In Destiny 2, we will call this transmog system Armor Synthesis. Now, if you go to their site right now, they do have a screenshot here of what that will look like. If you've played any other MMOs, you know what transmog is. If not, it's the ability to take any piece of your armor, and if you get, let's say you get a raid helmet and you love the helmet, but it's absolutely ugly, absolutely disgusting, you can make it look like anything that you've gotten previously in your collection system. So you could have a raid helmet, and have it keep the stats and still be that helmet, but look like a Trials helmet. Really cool. This honestly should have been done as of 2014 in the original Destiny, in my opinion. Eagles News Now is in the chat. He laughed at hard mode. Everybody, Eagles News Now. Go check him out and whatever. Some of the things coming. Cosplay. Jesus. I can't speak today. Crossplay is coming to the masses in Season 15. We'll be doing some internal rollouts and alpha tests in Season 14 to prepare for a widespread launch this fall. With crossplay, you'll be able to play with all your friends no matter what platform you call home. And don't worry, we won't be matching console and PC players together in the Crucible unless PC players specifically invite their console friends to play with them in the PC Crucible pools. That will not happen because PC players, the PC Destiny 2 PvP model has been completely broken with cheaters and things like that. And in this, they say that they are upping their resources to combat cheaters, but they don't say what they're doing because they don't want to give away their strategy. They've been using this same line for so many years now that I don't believe they're actually even bothering. That I believe that they're just letting them cheat because they're playing the game still. Some of you noticed that Akora Ray has not been nearly as present recently in Destiny 2. We've missed her as well. I haven't. Not only will you see Akora again in Season 14, she will be playing a pivotal role in the Witch Queen. Yet again, another caveat, another little seed planted for the Witch Queen. And Beyond Light, we introduced Stasis subclasses like Solar, Arc, and Void. Stasis will continue to evolve into a fully supported damage type. In Season 15, we will introduce our first round of legendary Stasis energy and power weapons. This is awesome. The Stasis mode is basically a freeze mode. You can freeze anything. It looks like ice. They just refuse it to call it that. And now we're going to be getting weapons that can freeze enemies. That's pretty badass. More recently, in Season 13, we rolled out Phase 1 of our new Gilded title system, where players can gild our ritual titles like Conqueror, Unbroken, Dredgen, and Flawless each season. In Season 14, Phase 2 of gilding titles will roll out. When players gild a title, it will also now display how many times that title has been gilded in the past. That's what he said. It would be awesome if you could cosplay. I can't talk into Destiny. Roll into Venus as Iron Man. Venus isn't in the game. That's the point. Venus is not in the game, but the Vault of Glass, the Venus raid from Destiny 1, is coming back. So we're going to get Venus back. They took away a few planets already. I, for one, loved Venus. I'd be okay if it came back. If you're just now joining the chat, I want to let everybody know. I apologize. I started a few minutes late. I had some problems with OBS and YouTube working together. Of course, for the past 2 days, I did a ton of test streams with OBS and YouTube, and everything worked fine. And the minute I press start stream to go live today, of course, everything goes to shit. Everything goes to hell. I had to restart it 3 times, so I'm sure nobody's going to see this video now. Yeah, I get it. But I do appreciate you guys coming in. As always, all super chats, all super stickers are appreciated. You will get a personalized shout out. It will be acknowledged if you choose to do a super chat or a super sticker. I want to know in the chat, I want to know in the comments, what are your guys' opinions on all of this Destiny news? Do you feel like I do that Destiny 2 is reborn with all of this? That Destiny 2 will be reborn with Joe Blackburn in the assistant game director and most likely being promoted to game director? Because, as we know, super strippers remind me of super stokers. Remember those? You fucking pump them up with the gimmicks on your back. As we know, Luke Smith, the former now game director of Destiny 2, has been promoted to oversee all things relating to Destiny. And what this tells me, what this tells pretty much everybody that has a brain regarding multimedia and Destiny in general, is that there are movies, television shows, animations, something like that, something relating to television coming in the form of Destiny, and Luke Smith will be in charge of that. Bazooka Joe Blackberry. Bazooka Joe. And I also want to know in the comments, what do you play as? Are you a hunter? Are you a warlock? Are you a titan? What do you think of stasis and the fact that we will be getting stasis weapons here in the future? Does that change anything for you? Do you feel with sunsetting now going away that this is going to change the game? What does this do for your collections? Why not just do Destiny 3, leave the past in the past? So I agree with you. Eagles News Now has a really great statement. Why not do Destiny 3, leave the past in the past? So the issue with that is that what all of the current content that started with Beyond Light this past fall in Destiny 2 is Destiny 3 content. Activision was forcing Bungie to make Destiny 3 with Destiny 2 not even completely finished or rounded out. They wanted that every couple year release from Bungie. So when Bungie separated from Activision last year, they said that they're going to continue Destiny 2 and make it an evolving world, much like Final Fantasy XIV and the World of Warcraft series. The problem with that is that they're now taking away content to bring new content in. And the new content they're bringing in is not the same size as the content they took out. So now we have less of a game to play, regardless if there's new content. So many people have the same opinion that you do. Just start and stop fresh. And it sounds like that's going to be the thing, as Joe Blackburn, in his statement that I read earlier, was quoted as saying that there's going to be the Witch Queen early 2022, which now moves Lightfall to 2023, and another expansion following that up to tie up the first Destiny saga, the Light and Dark saga. So obviously this sounds like we're going to have 3 to 4 more years of Destiny 2 evolving, adding expansions, and then we will get Destiny 3 after that, or whatever they'd like to call it at that point, probably to coincide with a Destiny movie, a Destiny series on one of the many streaming devices, or a Destiny animated series. Joe Blackburn, good old Joe Blackberry. Joe Blackburn actually has done some great stuff within the game. It's okay to not be a fan of his. That's what's cool about doing this, is that we can talk about whatever the hell we want, and we can be a fan of whatever we want. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. There's not many people talking. That's fine. Please check out Facebook, Instagram, ebay.com/ZachTheRipperComics. Check out my Teespring store. Link in the description below to get this bad boy, the official Zach the Ripper Comics t-shirt. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below. Let me know what you think of Destiny 2. Are you still playing? Are you pissed off at all the PvP issues? Are you a hunter, warlock, titan? Do you use stasis? And what do you think of stasis coming to legendary and exotic weapons? He's just rubbing you the wrong way. That's fine. Last but not least, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for the time that we did. I apologize that I could not get started earlier due to OBS, due to YouTube, probably due to some user error. Aaron Connor's in the chat. Aaron Connor has had the highest super chat so far at $20. I had a nice little setup to show off that, fact. And of course, it's not there now. Hope you're making something good. I just wanted to let everybody know about this Destiny news. Feel free to rewatch the video if you missed out on a majority of it. All huge stuff. In my opinion, all really good stuff. Chris Wild's not a fan of OBS. That's fine. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to all of my patrons on patreon.com/ZachTheRipperComics. As you know, we are at month 6. And at month 6, you guys get another free merchandise reward. We're talking stickers, t-shirts, bags, hoodies, mugs, all kinds of stuff. If you want to go and check that out, feel free. Patreon.com/ZachTheRipperComics. You can check out. There's a ton of different tiers. And within those tiers, it'll let you know what freebies you're going to get. Comic books, merchandise, all kinds of stuff. Courtesy of yours truly, just for you guys helping me out and supporting the channel. For those of you that just tuned in, feel free to watch the replay. I very much appreciate it. Until next time.